And welcome back to Live Now from Fox as we continue to follow even more breaking news. Former Representative George Santos has been sentenced to 87 months in prison. This just coming into our newsroom here on Live Now from Fox. And he served in Congress for barely a year before being ousted back in 2023 by his House colleagues. He pleaded guilty last summer to federal wire fraud and aggravated identity theft. Santos admitted to deceiving donors and stealing the identities of nearly a dozen people, including his family members, to fund his winning campaign. As part of a plea deal, Santos has agreed to pay roughly $580,000 in penalties in addition to prison time. Some more information for you. Prosecutors were seeking 7 years in federal prison for Santos, arguing in recent court filings that he, quote, remains unrepentant and has not shown genuine remorse despite what he claims. They cite recent comments Santos has made on social media in which he casts himself as a victim of overreach. In a letter to the court this week, Santos stressed that he remains, quote, profoundly sorry for his crimes, but objects to the sentence being sought, which he has said was overly harsh. If you are just joining us here on Live Now from Fox, we are bringing you this breaking news that ex-U.S. Representative George Santos now sentenced to 7+ years behind bars. I did want to share a little bit more of the backstory here, as Santos was elected back in 2022, and he flipped a wealthy district representing parts of Queens and Long Island for the GOP. Soon after, though, it was revealed that the political unknown had fabricated much of his life story, painting himself as a successful business owner who worked at a prestigious Wall Street firm and held a valuable real estate portfolio. But in reality, Santos was struggling financially and even faced eviction. I do want to share a look right now outside of the courthouse where we can see the media running, and we can see Santos also appears to be running away from the media. This happening just moments ago here. I did want to share that look with you.
I had no idea where you were.
Again, this live look just moments ago as this news just did come down here as we're bringing it to you on Live Now from Fox. That former Representative George Santos sentenced to 87 months in prison. Obviously, a developing breaking story. If we learn anything more, we'll bring it to you. We do have some reporters out there right now. Oh, and we are getting some comments. Let's listen in.
In the fight to get accountability for our district. As a young person, I know the corrosive effects. Don't talk to me like that, all right? Relax.
Compound offender, and if anybody here has been in prison for 2 days? I didn't think so. And to destroy a person's life, I understand. Everybody's human. Everybody made mistakes, okay? But even George Santos he didn't deserve more than two years in jail.
How do you know him?
I'm friends of his.
Campaign.
I'm his friends. And,
you were on his campaign?
And I still say, please, President Trump is very shrewd. He's a genius. But anyway, he's a compassionate man. I hear some laughter back there. He won the most landslide election, 313 electoral college votes.
When did you speak to Santos last?
And also the popular vote. And I believe that Donald Trump will commute his sentence.
Why?
And he should. I love you, President Trump.
For January 6th.
What's your name?
David Rem. D-A-V-I-D-R-E-M.
What do you talk to Santos about?
I am a friend.
What did you talk to him about just now?
I talked to him to keep his head up and that he'll be fine. And
how did he seem?
He seemed in very good spirits. Very, very good spirits.
He didn't look like he was in good spirits inside.
Well, I mean, if you were pronounced a sentence of 87 months, you wouldn't look like that at the moment either. But he's a very strong person. George is a very, very strong person and a very, very genuine, nice person. People don't really know who the real George Santos is.
David, what's your message to the president?
Isn't that the problem?
My message to the president is I would I would beg you to commute George Santos' sentence. I know a pardon might be politically incorrect.
While I was on trial,
I also have a presidential pardon in, and at this point I will say to Donald Trump, if you can only give one, give my pardon to George Santos, or commute George Santos' sentence.
Pardon Santos so he can lie some more.
What's that?
You said you're waiting for a pardon?
Yeah, it's many years ago. I'm waiting for a presidential pardon.
All right, so
But I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm just saying.
for his campaign.
No, I didn't work for him. I'm a personal friend of his.
Okay. And it doesn't bother you that he lied about
I don't live on the island. Oh, a lot of things bother me, and I don't take it for granted, and I'm not condoning his behavior, but I'm just saying, as a first-time non-violent offender, it is really like cruel to throw a person's life away. Unless you've done time, you don't know what I'm talking about. I live in Forest Hills, Queens. I don't live on Long Island. Thank you very much.
We'll commute the sentence of George Santos if that's all possible.